little bit of, what's the word, Tory?
It's patriotism. I don't know.
A little bit of wow factor.
Yeah.
You know, it's got, and it's very good.
Anthem of the United Kingdom. Followed by the national anthem for Hong Kong, China. Hear the round of applause from what is definitely a partisan crowd.
Yes,
they're here to see one thing: Hong Kong, China.
So you can see the crowd there packed up against the side of the arena. The applause much different for the Hong Kong Chinese national anthem than the English one, that's for sure. So we know who has all the crowd support at the moment, Tory, and with the Argentine marching band will make their way off the field. And I'll introduce the players.
And they're playing at number 1 for England. Max Rutledge playing off of 5 goals. We'll take the opportunity to introduce the ponies as well. He's riding straights in this first chukker. Playing at number 2, Jack Richardson as well at 5 goals. Riding Zeit for the first chukker. And at number 3, Max Charlton, the highest handicap player for England, riding Negra on this first occasion. And then on the opposing side of the field, the defending champions, Hong Kong, China, at number 1, Guillermo Terrera at 8 goals, the highest handicapped players in the tournament, riding Ziana in the first chukker here. At number 2 for Hong Kong, China, playing off 4 goals, Facundo Fernandez Llorente, riding Beetle. And last but not least, the Director of Stable Operations, an important member of the organizational team here at the Metropolitan Polo Club, riding Yap, and playing off of 4 goals, it's John Fisher.
Yeah, I think you'll find that Beetle that Facundo Llorente is riding was probably one of the ponies that came out of the New Zealand team when they left the competition. Tom Hunt was playing Yap, so Beetle, I should say. So it's a very, very good pony, and it did some amazing things with Tom Hunt. So yeah, I think it's going to the horsepower has now been increased as the other teams have dropped out.
Dr. Richard Khalil there, he will be doing the throw-in, the current president of the International Polo Federation, and our umpires on the field for this final, Steve Evans and JJ Diaz Alberti. You can see Dr. Khalil there. We're waiting for the teams to line up. JJ bringing them over to the boards. Pictured with Dr. Khalil Chloe Go, part of the organizational team for FIP and the Metropolitan Polo Club. And
ball's been thrown in, and it comes out in favour of England, but first one going back in defence is Facundo Llorente comes off the pony, the umpire's pony's leg, and now Guillermo Torreira brings it around the front again. Plenty of pressure now from Jack Richardson. He just keeps forcing Torreira back till Torreira gets a player to come back and help him, which was the number 4-3, John Fisher, for Hong Kong China now, and the ball now straight onto the stick of John Fisher as he goes forward, but he's hooked out of it by Max Rutledge for England. Rutledge backing it down, going back there in defence again is the number 2. An appeal for a foul there off Max Charlton, but he doesn't get it, so it's now Facundo Llorente trying to get past the number 2 for England, Jack Richardson, but Jack Richardson gets enough on it to create a bad hit there, but he doesn't get to come up with the ball, and now Guillermo Torreira comes with the ball and leaves it behind for John Fisher, who brings it through, hits it cleanly, and the first goal goes onto the board, and it's now the host nation, defending champions, up by 1 goal to 0.
Jack Richardson kind of riding all over Guillermo Torreira, and you did see John Fisher just come in and take him right out of play.
And that's what both Fisher and Facundo Llorente will have that job today, to try and protect Guillermo Torreira. Even though they know the English are coming at him, they will then be going to put themselves into positions where it's hard for the English to get to Guillermo Torreira. So anyway, now England on the attack. Max Charlton, 6 goals, the highest rated member of the English team. Brings it around, Guillermo can't do much with it now. Charlton takes it forward now, and he's got a little bit of acceleration on this pony here, Max Charlton, but he can't keep the ball. And now who's going to come up with it? Backed out of danger's way by Hong Kong China's Guillermo Torreira. And the first one with the ball here is Torreira now. He turns up onto that beautifully, brings it back in around. Jack Richardson rides over the ball there in what they call it like a J-rule play. And now Llorente can't do much with it there, and Jack Richardson backs it, looking for Rutledge to run onto it, but a big smear right off there by Llorente, the man of the moment, Guillermo Torreira, and it didn't go over the line from the looks of it here, and
great defence from the English.
Very well, and this is what we saw yesterday by the English. The defence, running back in defence was very, very good. Now, Max Rutledge appealing for a foul. John Fisher clears it out to the boards, gets a very good deflection, but England read it very well. Now, Richardson tells Rutledge to go to Torreira and try and keep him away, but he hasn't been able to do so, so Richardson's still got to deal with now Facundo Llorente. Richardson leaves it behind. Max Charlton leaves it behind. It's sitting in the snow. Going back first is going to be Rutledge, backing it down the boards. It's looking for a deflection there for Rutledge and Max Charlton, and he gets it. So now it'll be Torreira, hard ridden there by Max Rutledge, and then a hook coming from Jack Richardson. So they're swarming around Guillermo Torreira, and it's now Facundo Llorente with the pony just having a bit of a slip and a slide, but now back shot there by Max Charlton looking to get to Richardson, and it was actually a lucky bounce there for England, because if he'd hit it any further, it would have come up to Facundo Llorente. Now, England, can they put it through from here? The English hustling, riding their ponies hard, trying to get
trying to push Torreira out of the way to clear some space.
Yep, can't get to the ball, and the whistle's gone.
So Rutledge trying to push Torreira to create a little gap for Jack Richardson.
That's all he needed. He just needed to be able to keep Torreira away from Max Charlton here, and that's what he was doing. So he did that. Now Torreira's saying, well, I'm out of the way here. He hit the ball to me, so that was why his stick was in the air. And the umpires are actually having a discussion about it, because there will be an argument here or a discussion about whether Torreira actually did anything wrong, because he was being ridden off. He didn't really move, but this is a great goal here by Torreira. Oh, it didn't actually go, sorry. This is the one that it just pulled up just short.
Off the line, yes.
And the defence of the English here was phenomenal.
And if you were with us yesterday for the semi-finals, we saw that time and again in the England-Chile match. They cleared at least two to three goals right off the line.
And I think that was the man that did it too. I think it was Rutledge he was very good in defence yesterday for a one. He was always running back. But yes, they've blown it against Guillermo Torreira. After probably speaking to this guy here on the screen, he's the third umpire,
Nico Scorticini.
That's right, the referee. They refer back to him if the umpires down on the field can't agree. And I think that Guillermo Torreira probably feel a little bit hard done by there. England hit it very sweetly and it's through, so it's now 1 apiece. And we've got ourselves a ball game on our hands. It is now England sticking it to the host nation and defending champions Hong Kong, China, with Torreira playing the possession game and trying to just keep it and weave it left and right while the English sort of hustle, and he's just trying to see where Jack Richardson is before he makes the quick play. And look, this is what happens. I talked about this earlier. If you tap it in your own half, it is fraught with danger, and it has been lucky enough. The skill of Torreira has brought it back up way over the halfway line now, and it'll be England backing it away into space. Oh, lovely pick up there by John Fisher of Hong Kong, China. Pushes it forward with his arm. Now it hits the boards.
Now, is that legal, actually, for him to push it with the arm?
The whistle's gone.
Yes, because we did see that in an earlier tournament here at the Metropolitan.
Look,
Polo Club.
I think it can come off you, but it's when you play it with your arm. This is the one here. When
it looks as if he's actually playing that with the
so that's why they got the penalty there.
I mean, we saw one of the Argentinian players here in an earlier tournament at the Metropolitan Polo Club actually head the ball.
Yes. So England now with an opportunity to get out of their half and get this ball up into their attacking zone at the other end of the field. So he hits it quite sweetly, but it looks like Torreira will be the first one onto it. And then it was Max Charlton got the lovely little deflect there, but England not able to do enough with it. Then a lovely back shot by Richardson onto the running Max Charlton. Now Max Charlton, 6 goals, tries to get the ball back in behind Fisher. He's appealing, saying that he couldn't play at the ball there. And now Max Rutledge.
But the whistle has gone, and I think you were right in the call. They were appealing for a foul against John Fisher.
Yes, because they're saying they couldn't play the ball. It was dangerous. So you'll see Rutledge just changes it. And now
I think they're correct on that call. It has been awarded to England. A second consecutive penalty to England.
Yep. So, looking for Jack Richardson, just looking for any little bit of snow to sit the ball on, so he gets a nice crisp, clean hit at the ball. And it'll be now Jack Richardson of England to see if he can put their team 1 goal in front. Umpires have asked him to call it back to be in line with the blue dot where they mark the 20-metre mark.
It looks like that blue dot is now a divot.
Yes.
And the ball is sitting in a hole.
And this pony, not the most relaxed pony, so it's quite an active horse, and you have to be very careful teeing the ball up with one of those, because they do exactly what happened there. They will kick the ball off the mark. And now Jack Richardson to keep his swing quite smooth and try and keep the pony relaxed as he comes through and hits this ball. He hits it, and again, it's almost a mirror image of the penalty prior to. So it's now England in front, 2 goals to 1.
Jack Richardson having a little tussle with that horse, Zach.
Yeah, he's generally, if they do have, he's got a bit of ability, but they might be a little bit messy. Oh, Guillermo Torreira's made a mistake in his own half. And luckily for the defence of Fisher, they couldn't get back there and try and get that ball off Torreira. But big ride off Richardson on Torreira. Great play here, England. Now, Max Charlton turned up very well onto that line, and Facundo Llorente didn't really know where the ball had gone. And now a back shot here by Rutledge, looking to get it to Max Charlton. Max Charlton, he's got Facundo Llorente all over him. Now John Fisher trying to appeal for the line, doesn't quite get it. Jack Richardson now to take the ball forward, still got to try and avoid the hook of Fisher of Hong Kong, China. They've got 14 seconds left. They are just trying to get a break, a lucky break here with the ball to try and get it out of this scrummage, and someone's been hit.
That's Jack Richardson.
Jack Richardson this time has been hit. In these scrummages, anything can happen. And he is in all sorts of trouble, Jack Richardson, with 5 seconds left on the clock. And he is not in... For him to be laying in the snow, it must hurt. So what do we got here? So we got this one. Oh, he's got the backswing there in the cheek, or in the cheekbone of Guillermo Torreira. And it hurts. So
looks like
look,
there's some blood on the arm.
Bit of blood on the arm. And that's our Polo Times editor, Polly, from England, watching very intently to see how the English are going. But has he... Oh, we've got unlucky footage there. But
he's got a cut.
He must have got him on the forehead, or because the blood seems to be on the forehead. Or is it
just
the eye
the
socket?
eye.
Is it the eye socket?
It's looking like the eye.
He had the goggles on. He had his safety goggles on.
And again, is it the goggles that actually protected him? But the medical team are making their way out to the field, and this is really unfortunate for England.
Let's have a look at one of these earlier goals here. This is Fisher putting through a very good goal for Hong Kong, China early on in this first chukker. And let's see here.
John Fisher starting the scoring early for Hong Kong, China. That was followed by 2 penalties, successful penalties for the English side. Playing very physical right off the line there.
That was an amazing defensive play by Rutledge there. And
I believe this is where we are.
So this is where Torreira just was across the line, and they had to allow Max Charlton to play that one. And
it's the first of 2.
Number 2, Jack Richardson. Then they put that one through. And this goal here was another penalty because John Fisher was all over that ball, and Max Charlton couldn't play at the ball there. So the number 3 for England then got the penalty. So this is Jack Richardson teeing it up on that horse that was a little bit, a horse called Zeet. And he got that through.
Jack Richardson is the player that's down at the moment. Max Rutledge having gone down early in this tournament.
Right.
Richard Lepore, their reserve, did come in and replace Max Rutledge on that occasion. We don't know if we will need to see Richard Lepore again in this final.
Yeah, no, Max Rutledge is definitely out there playing with with -2 teeth and with a hole in his tongue from a mallet earlier on in the week. But he's definitely out on the pitch at the moment, and Richard Lepore now will be wondering whether he has to go out there and fill in or not. He'll be getting his whites and his helmet and knee guards on, and in readiness just in case.
There's Clive Petty, the manager for the South African team that's here. Unfortunately, they went out during the round robin stage. Again, you'll see that Jack Richardson is getting medical attention on the field now. We're in the first
Diego Solzano and a couple of the Chilean supporters.
It's just some action, super slow-mo action from this
look how far he gets out of
chukker.
the saddle there, Jack Richardson. He's a very good player. And so it'll be a big loss if he doesn't get back on that defensive play there.
If you're just joining us, you're with Now Sports live broadcast of the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup at the Metropolitan Polo Club in Tianjin. I'm Tori Dorsey with Adam Buchert. We're at fieldside. We're delay here in this tournament final with England leading 2-1 as Jack Richardson caught an unfortunate mallet. Looked like to the eye or just above the eye or forehead.
Yeah, we'll see if we can have a look here. He's gone into the buggy, so he's actually not going to ride off the field, which is a worry for England. I think that might be Richard Lepore there. He's got his whites on, but he doesn't have his polo boots on.
You see some of the striking imagery of the Fortune Heights complex here in Tianjin, including the clubhouse, spectacular clubhouse in the background. Mr. Pan Su Tong and his strong management team at Golden Properties having this grand vision for polo. There's a young Amir Jumaboy, the Jumaboy family from the Singapore Polo Club. Amir also now a brand ambassador for La Martina, representing the brand here in Asia, joining his father Assad Jumaboy, a member of the FIP Council. And yes, there is Richard Lepore, who's not looking as if he's planning on being on the field. Jack Richardson now actually walking walking back to midfield. He does look as if he's got a that eye is looking that eye is looking quite swollen. He's looking more like a boxer or a mixed martial arts fighter at the moment.
And again, you see a bit of the plaster on the nose from the glasses have cut him on the nose. So hopefully that's where the blood was.
But I think if he can, Jack Richardson will certainly be back in the saddle for this final. And there is Asad Jumaboy, part of the FIP Executive Council.
He's going to struggle to see out of that one. So it'll just depend how bad he wants it, whether he will get back on or whether he will. And the distressing thing, I suppose, here for the players, there's only 5 seconds left on the clock, so they may make a call here and just say, well, that's the end of that chukker, or they'll give them a penalty with 5 seconds to go, or not a penalty, they'll have a throw-in with 5 seconds to go.
But certainly the English team going home with...
he's putting his helmet on.
And there's Richard Lepore.
Richard Lepore doesn't have his boots on, so it looks like he's going to continue on. So we said the other day the English were tough when we saw Max Rutledge spitting out those teeth, and this is Jack now testament to that. So
is he just staying off for the remainder of this?
Look,
5 seconds.
I reckon he might just, he's struggling to get the glasses back on over that injury. He may just stay on for 5 seconds, or I don't think they would ask him to. The team would nearly start without him if he wasn't going to come back on, I would think.
But the English team certainly going home with some memories from Tianjin in the form of
some scars.
Some scars, yes. Some remnants of this this event. And Jack Richardson back in the saddle. Again, we're still in the first chukker of this final. England leading Hong Kong, China 2-1. And 5 seconds remaining.
We've already had plenty of action. So,
a round of applause for Jack Richardson as he
very tough, very well done. So he'll gather his thoughts, and let's see how he goes from here, because it could be a torrid battle out there. There's going to be, I don't think the Hong Kong Chinese team will be easing up at all. And the ball's been thrown in, and Torreira hits it out over the boards to wind the clock down. That's what they're doing. They said we have to throw it in, and so at the end of the first chukker.
So that was more of a gesture just to end that first chukker.
And we will now go to the break with England up 2-1.
Welcome back to the Metropolitan Polo Club in Tianjin. You're with Now Sports live broadcast of the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup. We're just beginning the second chukker of this 4-chukker match. England leading Hong Kong, China 2-1. If you're just joining us, we had a short break as one of the English players, Jack Richardson, suffered an injury to the eye, caught a mallet to the eye that required some short medical attention. Now we're gathering at midfield for the throw-in to start this second chukker.
Yeah, you can't say that the English players are soft, Tory. Max Rutledge, the number one's out there missing a few teeth from one of the earlier games, and now we have Jack Richardson probably struggling to look out of one of his eyes because it would be quite swollen now. He copped a mallet to the eye socket and he has a very, very black eye at the moment. So umpires now getting ready to create a bit of a tunnel to throw the ball in, and the ball's been thrown in now, and it'll come out in favour of Max Rutledge for England. First touch of the ball, but hooked out of it by Llorente for Hong Kong, China. Lovely back shot there by Max Charlton. But the first one onto it is Guillermo Torreira, the 8-goaler, the highest rated player in the tournament, and definitely the highest rated player on the field here this afternoon. And now Facundo Llorente just playing for time here, just under plenty of pressure, but gets a nice little shot away, trying to get it to Torreira. Now he keeps it himself. Will it be Facundo Llorente's time? No, it's going to go wide to the right. and it will be a hit in off the back line to England.
Hong Kong China trying to feed Terera, but actually Jack Richardson, who took that mallet from Terera, is just marking it.
Yep, that's right. Now Richardson brings it and hits a lovely ball to the running Max Charlton. Now he'll keep the ball out in front. Max Charlton now taking it. He's going to have to go near side, hooked out of it by Gerente and Terera. Oh, here's the bounce that England were looking for here now. Jack Richardson comes up with the ball, but then Terera reads the play so well, and then he comes around now and taking it. He's going to have to go try and get it past Charlton, who read it but couldn't execute it very well. And now Terera in space with nobody on him and a little bit of time up his sleeve. He's going to just try and creep this down to within striking range. Keeps it away from the swinging stick of Max Rutledge. And now the ball's gone onto the boards, and it'll be Max Charlton for England, the number 3 on the burst now. Max Charlton, lovely little approach shot, but it's gone a little bit further wide to the left than he wanted. Near side shot required. John Fisher appealing for the foul. Doesn't get the foul, but he gets a little bit of a ride off there, enough to keep Charlton off the ball. And now Facundo Llorente, the 4-goaler for Hong Kong China, hooked out of it very well by England. But Terera, the 8-goaler, with the ball at the back, just dancing around in behind Jack Richardson now. Maybe riding to the side where the swollen eye is, and he leaves the ball behind for Facundo Llorente. Now, a little bit of bunching up here, and we've seen that this is when they can get into trouble. So John Fisher clears it, a lovely big clearing shot, read very well by Max Charlton at the back, hits it in towards the crowd, gets the deflection off the boards. Who's first onto the line? Jack Richardson, and then looking for another deflection, gets a little bounce, gets a good bounce, but the ball stays behind, and Facundo keeps it. Now John Fisher looking for the back shot to reach him, but it doesn't, and then it'll be a quick back shot now from Rutledge, and again it comes off the horse of Facundo Llorente, and it doesn't help England at all. But now Max Charlton taking it across field for England, backs it towards the goal mouth, looking for it to get to it. Jack Richardson goes for the hook, goes for the ball, hooked out of it, I should say. Now a clearing shot. Charlton's going to have to take it forward, and he's playing with fire here if he wants to try and outsmart a very attacking Guillermo Terera. Now Charlton checking up hard, going to have to take it around the front, and he does. Max Charlton for England now. Fisher appealing for a foul. He's been doing it a bit, riding in from the back with his stick in the air, but umpires aren't having a bar of it, and the whistle has now gone.
I don't think John Fisher was actually taking his mallet out of the air.
Well, he can obviously see a line from a long way back, and he gets on it and rides it, but umpires have blown the whistle, and it just looks like they're going to have they're looking to the third man for the decision here.
I'm sure our broadcast team will show us some super slow-mo later, but the traction on some of these ponies as they're checking, it's very slippery out there. Umpires
are just saying that they need to go and pick up a shoe off the field. I've seen 3 shoes come off today at the end of the tournament. The farriers the shoes are probably ready to come off. Some of these horses will probably go out for a spell after this, so they'll get a decent break over the New Year period. And I'll give a free hit now to Hong Kong China down in the far corner, and Guillermo Terera will take the hit, the clearing shot really, to try and get this out of their defensive half, and it'll be Max Charlton trying to back it down the line. He does so, but he doesn't get enough on it, probably because he couldn't hit that one, because Facundo Llorente was a little bit in the way. Big ride off there now by Guillermo Terera. Oh, big hook by Charlton and a good play, but he couldn't execute it as cleanly as he wanted. Max Rutledge appealing for the line there. Had to try and keep Fisher out of it. John Fisher, and does so. So Rutledge and Fisher having a great battle there at the back. But now Terera, again, probably a little bit too much space for Terera for England's liking. He's getting a little bit too much ball, and Jack Richardson may, even though he's got a black eye, just lift his game a little bit. But now Jack Richardson on the attack. He's got a couple of lengths on Terera, but Terera is coming. He's going up the centre of the field, so he can shadow Richardson with the ball there. So as soon as Richardson turns towards the goal mouth, he knows he'll be able to pick him up. Now Richardson goes around the front, keeps it himself, turning it now, gets past 1, gets past 2. He's got a little bit of space. He's going to have to try and just weave his way past the John Fisher, but he hits it there for Max Charlton, and England go up again, now making it 3-1. great team goal there by the English.
A great team play by this young English team.
Look at this. Richardson with a black eye, takes it around, dances back in behind Fisher, and then leaves it there for Charlton, and Charlton just pops it through. So very, very good goal. And now Hong Kong China on the attack over the advantage line, but a lovely big back shot here by Max Charlton for England. Gets the ball back over halfway for England now. And, ooh, unlucky.
Richardson, so that's Terera claiming for the foul, and you can see him actually leaning over because he took a huge bump from Max Rutledge.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the replay on that one. Crowd not moving a muscle, watching very, very closely.
The ball was resting in an open space, and we just saw Rutledge.
The umpires deeming that this ball was on the halfway, so or on the other side of halfway, so they've only moved it to halfway, which will be deemed a little bit harsh there for the Hong Kong Chinese team. But anyway, umpires are right, and lovely big shot by Max Charlton straight to the boards. First onto the line is Max Rutledge, who's looking for a deflection off the boards again for England, and a little back there by Facundo Llorente, but now it'll be Guillermo Terera coming up with the ball, being hard-ridden, and he's getting turned back inside out by the defence here of the English, and now he gets around the front now, and he's in some space, and this is the space that he needed here, because Guillermo Terera is going to have to try and pull something out of the hat if he's to try and reduce this deficit. Terera, he's getting English both sides of him, comes off the pony's leg. Will it be Facundo Llorente for Hong Kong China? It is, and it's a goal with 30 seconds left. And there's only one goal in it.
And really, the home team are going to have to look to Facundo Llorente and John Fisher, because they are marking Guillermo Terera very closely.
When he gets the ball, they've got one man on the offside and one man on the stick side, and I should say near side and stick side. So anyway, it's now England on the attack. And again, good open polo, and it's getting them back up into those positions where they can actually score some points. But at the end of the second chukker, it is England up by 1, 3-2.
It's a great play thus far from the English team. Again, we'll take a short break and return to more live action from Tianjin. Welcome back to the Metropolitan Polo Club in Tianjin. You're with Now Sports and live coverage of the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup. I'm Tori Dorsey at fieldside with Adam Buchert. We're watching a cracker of a battle here between England and the home team, Hong Kong China. England leading 3-2 at the halfway mark. Now into the third.
That's right, Tori. You've put it very succinctly. It is a cracker, an absolute cracker of a match here between defending champion and England. And it's now Jack Richardson with the black eye running the ball into the goal to increase the lead now for England, and he is pumped. 4-2 now. England sneak in front with a very quick goal in the opening part here of this third chukker, just after the halftime break, and Jack Richardson running that ball in. And it's not easy for the viewers at home to see because of the glasses that Jack Richardson is wearing, but Jack Richardson, his right eye is basically closed because it is so swollen from the mallet injury that he received earlier. But anyway, it's now Guillermo Terera on the Beltree's horse called Negro, bred by the White family in Scone, New South Wales, Australia. And it'll be Max Rutledge diving in and claiming that ball, and avoiding a hook there from Terera, but he's still got Facundo Llorente in his rib cage. And now it will be a little back shot down the boards, which will come up in favour of Max Charlton for England, and it's England on the attack again with Max Rutledge with a lovely little near side play. The ball still sitting up there, lovely back shot across the goal mouth for England, and it's over the line, and England now 5-2, and John Fisher, the body language has changed, Tori.
Indeed, let's look at this.
Look at this big ride-off. The ride-offs have been amazing by this English team.
Max Rutledge.
And he needed that to be gone, and it stayed behind and left the ball there.
Max Charlton to tap it through.
That's right. So now, Guillermo Torreira on Negro, running it up on the near side, leaving the ball there for someone else to come through and claim it, but the person that got it was Max Rutledge for England. Now, another back shot there by Facundo Llorente, gets it to about the 30-yard mark there, and a big neck shot by Jack Richardson for England, clears it, gets it up into their attacking half, and it'll be now Facundo Llorente trying to do the same, but can't, and now it is up to John Fisher to get it up over halfway for Guillermo Torreira. Torreira now is waiting to just dance past Max Rutledge and has Jack Charlton with him, so he decides to come back inside and go around the long way. He's still got Max Charlton there going back in defence. An attempted hook now by Jack Richardson leaves the ball behind for Facundo Llorente for Hong Kong China, now in the deep soft snow, in trouble because the pony's running backwards. He's trying to appeal for the line. It's being left now for Torreira. Torreira now in some space. Rutledge gets the hook that he needs. Great clearing play by England. The defence of the English team is phenomenal. And now a lovely shot up the field by the number 3, Max Charlton, and Facundo Llorente backing it, trying to get it up over halfway. It doesn't quite reach the halfway line. Now, Jack Richardson tries to back it. He took it away from Torreira, but then he saw that Torreira was had read the back shot, so he took it forward before he then played the back shot, and he hasn't made a lot of ground from it, but he's still got possession. Now it's going across the field. Facundo Llorente now looking, oh, lovely little shot under the belly of Jack Richardson's horse. Who's going to get back to it first? Charlton claims the man very solidly as his pony does a little bit of a burnout on the turn, and the ponies now giving everything they've got in this final. It has been up till now a cracking final, and this chukker is no different. So now Hong Kong China in a position to put one through here if they can just weather the defence of the English team. Now back shot now, lovely good defensive back shot by Max Charlton, and now Fisher for Hong Kong China, hitting it across for Torreira, who then was claimed by the man. So Facundo Llorente took it. Will he run it through Hong Kong China? He does, and the crowd are very happy about that.
And that's the second consecutive goal for Llorente, because every time Torreira makes a move for the ball, Jack Richardson is there like a bee to honey.
That's right. So Jack Richardson was caught between the two there. He was on Torreira. No one was marking that man there, Facundo Llorente, so he had to run up and try and get him. And by then, the play had gone, and it was goal time for Hong Kong China. So it's now Jack Richardson playing the ball up to the boards, going back in defence. Fisher for Hong Kong China. It goes down the boards. Again, Richardson with the swollen eye, hitting the ball down the boards. First onto the line is going to be Max Charlton, shutting down very hard there on the ball. Now, he plays it across to get a little bit of positional play, get it a little bit closer to striking distance in front of the goal mouth. Has to still get past Facundo Llorente, who's riding very hard now. England now pushing it forward, and the flag is up, and it's now England keeping that 3-goal buffer, and it's 6 goals to 3, Tory.
Max Charlton pushing that through Max Rutledge there, just in case for security. With 30 seconds remaining in this third chukker now.
And Guillermo, knowing the urgency or how beneficial it will be for his team to have a point now with the going into this last final chukker break, but it's now Hong Kong China going back in defence, and that's not how you score with 8 seconds left on the clock. And now Facundo Llorente coming up the boards, and bounces the ball off the head of one of the spectators. So that's a great little bit of vision there. Unfortunate for the spectator, but the ball isn't that hard. And that's Guillermo Torreira on screen as they head back to change the ponies. And it's 6 goals to 3. And look at this replay here. This is a great goal. So he's got Facundo Llorente, who is a very good rider and was all over him, and he still weathered the storm and pushed that ball forward.
So prior to the break, we're now at England 6 and Hong Kong China 3. Welcome back to Tianjin, China. We're at the Metropolitan Polo Club for the final of the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup. I'm Tori Dorsey with Adam Bucher. We're at fieldside for what is an enthralling final match between England and the defending champion and home team Hong Kong China. At the moment, England leading this final 6 3. I think the one thing that's very noticeable, the leader, really the leader of the Hong Kong China team, Guillermo Terrera, being absolutely taken out of play by Jack Richardson from England.
Yeah, no, the defence of England across the board, Tory, is unbelievable. They're playing a very, very good game, and they've got the Hong Kong China team on the ropes at the moment. They really do. And but we saw this in the previous game that Chile had Brazil down by 3 goals, and then Brazil came back very strong in the 4th chukker. And they put 3 quick goals on, but
6 minutes remaining.
6 minutes remaining as Jack Richardson on a little chestnut horse called Matilda. And he goes, can he put it through? Big ride off required. Lovely little approach shot, but the pressure, very good pressure there from Guillermo Terrera. Ball still stays in play, which isn't ideal for the Hong Kong China team, but it's still there for England. And the attacking team push it out over the board, so out over the back line. So it'll be a hit into Hong Kong China.
Max Charlton coming in and just checking for Facundo Fernandez Llorente.
Let's have a look here and see. Now, if Guillermo gets caught here, this could be big trouble for Hong Kong China. Oh,
and a foul.
And he's broken his stick, and the whistle has gone. So he just the action was correct, but the execution was poor by Jack. So Jack just had to stay straight here, and Guillermo Terrera couldn't help but collide with him there. And,
he's using his mallet.
But he broke the mallet in the process, so the head's broken off the mallet, and Jack's going to get a new mallet while the umpires work out how to get pick the mallet head up with the Polo cross racket. For all of you avid polo fans that don't know a lot about polo cross, it's a bit like lacrosse, and you play it on a horse, but you pick the ball up with the racket, just like those that the umpires have in their hand there now. But that's a different game again. We'll watch that another day. Today we have the final of the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup, and we are in the final chukker, or the final quarter of the match. The match being made of 4 chukkers and 6 minutes each, and we're in the last chukker right now, and it is Hong Kong China, the host nation, defending champions, down by 3, but on the attack, and the highest rated player, Guillermo Terrera, in a lot of trouble there because he is being swarmed by English players. Now, Facundo Llorente comes up with the ball. Big hook there by England, and the whistle has gone, and I think they might say that was a slash hook or a not a real safe way to play at the ball. You see Max Charlton here just come around. You watch here, bang. And
yeah, I do believe he has been charged for slashing.
So that's in that close proximity. We've already got one player, the number 2 for England, with a black eye, and can probably barely see out of that eye.
Max Rutledge with 2 missing teeth.
And Max Rutledge for England with 2 missing teeth and a hole in his tongue. So it'll be now John Fisher for Hong Kong China to try and reduce this deficit to 2 goals. He hits that one sweetly, and it's a goal to Hong Kong China, and the local crowd here are very excited. There's a couple of Australian expats there in the crowd, and Jack Richardson
to bring this in for England.
So 6 goals to 4 now. England on the attack. And look at that. See, they don't wait and play with that ball. They just launch it and get it up into that top half. Unfortunate bounce there for Rutledge now. But it'll be Facundo Llorente sliding his pony to a stop, getting hooked out of it by Charlton, who nearly got the ball. And again, whistle's gone again.
Some of which are their own teammates.
I think they're saying that Max, again, being a little bit vigorous with the hooking.
Right, it looks like Jack Richardson also asking his teammate to...
We'll just have a look at it here in the slow-mo. So he's hooked on the way up. And Jack, oh no, it wasn't a savage hook. I think it was more that he was hooked on the way up and then ridden off the ball. But we'll...
So, referee Steve Evans having a word with Guillermo Terrera, and is Max Charlton But I think Steve Evans just trying to calm play down.
Diffuse the situation, I think is the word. I think so. It'll be England here to will get the penalty. It'll be against Facundo Llorente. So they're saying that he crossed that line that Max Charlton was on, and the umpires probably just had a quick word to Max Charlton saying, yes, we saw that you were on the line. There was no need for you to probably ride in as hard into that line. That's what I think they were complaining about. But anyway, it's now Jack Richardson, the number 2 for England, with the ball, going solo, trying to walk it in, hooked out of it, but it looks like it could roll over. No, it's been kept out of the goal mouth. And now Max Rutledge with a back shot down the board, across the back line. It's still in the field of play, and it's now Torreira appealing for the foul and getting it. Whistle has gone.
Whistle went, but the ball was also hit outside of the back line there.
So that's Jack Richardson doing everything he can to try and get that through. Very unlucky not to get it through. And Facundo Llorente just got enough on that to keep it out of harm's way. And then you'll see the Rutledge goes for it, doesn't quite get it, but it's now Hong Kong China on the attack, but a defensive play across the field gets the ball back to Hong Kong China, and now to be near side required, but Max Charlton turns the ball. John Fisher backs it down, looking to try and get it to Guillermo Torreira, the number 1. Jack Richardson, lovely back shot across the field of play. Now looking for Max Rutledge to run onto that one. Max Rutledge now with the green helmet, keeps the ball in front of him, but he can't see it. Now, John Fisher comes around the front and appeals for the line. And it'll be very difficult here for me to see whether Fisher actually...
It did look like John Fisher had that on his
stick
side.
Rutledge just looking for the ball there. You see? Tough call. And the umpires, ladies and gentlemen, don't have the benefit of the replay that we have. So they've just got to make a call on what they see. That's the referee and the third man who's up in the stands from Argentina, Nikos Cortacini. And he said that, yes, it'll be against John Fisher for coming around the front. So I think I might have called it.
Not going, no home field advantage here.
No.
It's very transparent.
Jack Richardson on a little chestnut horse bred by Peter Bonetto from New South Wales, Australia.
We're at the halfway mark of this 4th chukker. England still with a
Jack Richardson, what an approach shot. That is fantastic. It could go all the way here for England. John Fisher's going to have to do something to keep that out of the goal. And now Guillermo Torreira has turned onto the back shot there of John Fisher's, and he keeps the ball out in front of Max Charlton. But first one back there is Jack Richardson. Jack Richardson straight down the boards. He's hit it straight to the stick side now of Max Rutledge, who's still got to get past Fisher to get through to the goal mouth now. He takes his time and looks up, takes the man with him, has a quick play across the goal mouth, but it has gone a little bit too far. Now it'll be Richardson, takes the man, hits the ball back cleanly. First one onto it is Torreira, and he has got Hong Kong China out of trouble for the meantime. Now, he's bringing it just shy of halfway. Needs to get it over that advantage line and get down near into his strike zone. And because the defence of this English team is torrid at the moment. Lovely approach shot now for Torreira, but it will go wide to the right.
Max Charlton not leaving his man, staying just on the side of Guillermo Torreira, keeping him close to the boards, not giving him any space to work with.
Well, he's creating problems for Torreira, and he's creating pressure, which makes it more difficult for Torreira to weave his magic when he's constantly under pressure. So Torreira now running down the line to try and get the quick play there off Richardson, but he couldn't get there in time. And now a lovely big shot up, Jack Richardson up the field, and Facundo Llorente puts his stick up, appeals for the foul, plays the back shot, but it comes off the rump of Rutledge's horse. And now it'll be England through Max Charlton, going for the big neck shot and doesn't quite get it, but Torreira now comes up with the ball, coming through the traffic now. Torreira trying to get past the big black horse of Max Rutledge's and can't. And the size difference on those ponies is very, very acute. And now Facundo Llorente leaves it behind for Torreira, who then just keeps the ball as it's under the horse of Max Charlton. Now he weaves it in around behind Charlton, and again playing this possessional play and just trying to get himself within striking distance of that goal. Now he's going to have to ride hard, and he could get ridden off this line by Charlton if he's not careful. So he's going to have to bring it around and leave it for Facundo Llorente to walk, push it through himself. Facundo Llorente does so, and Hong Kong China now within one with 30 seconds left on the clock. Will we be going into an extra sudden death chukker? The hooter has gone.
The clock continues to run.
And if you were the English now with a set play off the back line, you would not be rushing the clock at all. So, Jack Richardson hits it. Probably the best play, I think, to hit it clear and try and get himself up over that advantage line. But it's now Hong Kong China with Guillermo Torreira. This is not going to help them. And at the end of the game, it is a victory to England. England have won it, Tory, 6-5, no extra time.
Hong Kong China did well to release Facundo Fernandez Llorente for that last goal. Again, all the attention on Torreira, but in the end, just not enough time.
Well, that was probably the best game plan for Hong Kong China, to say, well, they're all going to come to me, so I'm going to just have to absorb that and let you try and score some goals. But it was not enough today for the defending champions and the new champions of the Fortune Heights Snow Polo World Cup for 2014 is England.
The English team, Max Rutledge, Jack Richardson, Max Charlton, youth over experience on this occasion.
Certainly that. And but these boys have been playing the high goal in England for a long time, so they've got a lot of experience too.
We'll take a short break and return to the Metropolitan Polo Club in Tianjin.
Very, very well done.